Okay.
All right, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Mel of Melizevolving. We have our guest here, Yet at Black,
Yeah, that.
and we have Bree on the line as well.
Hey everyone.
Bree, thank you for being here today. You want to say hi to anybody?
Um, Hi everybody in the poly community, and shout out to my poly group, um, the Play Poly Mansion. Well, the Poly Mansion. I'm sorry, I took the play out. So, hey everybody.
All right, now. Okay. Well, what we're going to talk about on this session of monogamy versus polyamory, we're going to talk about levels today. So this should be real interesting. And it's a whole lot more to this life than I would have ever imagined. Okay. So it's kind of cool to get some new information. I actually got all of my definitions, and all of my research came from healthline.com and Google. So if you need to look any of these terms up, you want to go back, read a little bit more, hey, it might be the lifestyle for you. Who knows? So I just want to first go over the first level, which is primary. Okay, we understand primary, but by definition, a primary partner is a main squeeze in a polyamorous relationship with a hierarchical structure. So,
Man, these choice of words, main squeeze. um, yeah, we definitely gotta work on our lingo when it comes to choice of words, especially when you're adapting from monogamy to polyamory or polygamy, um, because that definitely can change a person's whole entire outlook. A single word. So, primary
absolutely.
partner is, you're right, main squeeze. Based on your level of knowledge, is the main person in your life. But it's not necessarily a you are above. I mean, everybody has a different, poly how you want, like you monogamy how you want.
Right.
Um, but there's not like a side chick. If you understand what I'm saying, like it's not like
Okay.
that. That's your primary could be your wife, or that long term partner, but that was the person who was there first, or who you choose to live your adult life with, like the person you got children with. That's who you choose to live with. So that would be your primary.
Okay. All right. So now that we know what primary is and how that works, which is pretty common, um, what about the secondary person? So it says by definition, a secondary partner has a more casual relationship than the primary. So what does that mean by casual?
Casual, I mean,
It can mean
is
a
this a
lot of different things, right?
right? um, I mean, to me, the secondary person, again, that can also be your wife or your husband, and that's the one you don't live with. Um, it's however you make it, but again, like this thing with the primary, first, second, third, or whatever, there's no, there's really no numbers. Yes, you are second, third because you are who came in after, or whatever, and you building your
Okay.
way up to that level. But there's no like who's above who, shit like that or whatever. I mean, if that's how y'all want to rock, then by all means.
Okay.
But
So it's different for each relationship.
right, that's however
Yeah.
they decided to structure it.
Okay. So there are some type of rules and guidelines, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, there have to be rules to something.
I
You
mean,
understand what I'm saying?
yeah, there's rules, but it's not like a set rule other than knowing what it is, what you want to do and having a clear understanding as how to go about it and being honest. Like, the rule is honesty. If you can't be honest, then it's a fucking problem.
Okay. All right. So I believe I asked this on the first session of this, but I'm just going to put the question out there again. What do you think it takes to be in a healthy polyamorous relationship?
Security, sense of identity, awareness, all pretty much the same. And I don't want to say money, but money is very important factor in a relationship, period. I don't
Absolutely, I agree.
care what dynamic you in. You need to be able to have money in order to truly sustain what you're working on. So
Okay. All right. You make it sound so
it's not
so
easy.
simple.
It's not easy. It's not simple at all. It ain't, but no relationship is. Um, it's all about numbers and just honesty. So no, it's not simple. I would never tell anybody that this is easy breezy. No.
Oh man. So I noticed there are a lot of different levels. Um, and shall I say terminology for the polyamorous lifestyle. So the next thing that we have is quad. By definition, it says a quad is a relationship involving four people. A common example is when two polyamorous couples meet each other's, meet each person, begin dating, and one person from another couple. That
Look how she looking.
That was
Right.
too detailed. That's why I'm like,
and this is from healthline.com. This is where I'm getting this information from. So
what is a quad?
just rock with me. Rock with me, okay?
I understand. But yeah, basically, you got it right. It was just too detailed. That's all.
Got you. Okay. So it's simpler than it sounds.
Right. It's just four people together. That's all.
Okay. So like earlier, I was just really, really curious. Like, what is the difference between quad and full quad?
Quad and full quad. I ain't never heard that before.
Right. See, we all learning something new here. Because I didn't understand what it was either. But it says full quad consists of four people with each romantically or sexually involved with each other's member.
I mean, I guess if that's what people want to do to separate themselves from the box, like a quad is a quad. It's four people dealing with each other. Like that's it.
Well, the definitions have to make everything seem so complicated, and it does. Like, to me, being a person who has been in just monogamous relationships, this is blowing me out of the water because I'm trying to get the information, I'm trying to understand.
Right.
So as far as the levels are concerned, how y'all doing out there? As far as with the full quad, that just sounds like a big ass orgy to me. Am I being wrong? Please correct me if I am.
If it helps to make sense to you, then by all means.
That's what I said.
I have to be fair and understanding people who are, like you said, you're coming from a monogamous lifestyle. It's just terminology. Everything is completely different. It's not, but understanding that this is just brand new to you. So it's kind of, I understand. I'm bearing with you.
Gotcha. Yes. I'm moving real slow with it.
It's being extra. It's 4 people, and it's like any dynamic 3, 4, 5, 6, whether it's a polycule, a polyfidelity, whatever dynamic. It's simply how they make it. So sex is not always a factor in their dynamic.
Right.
And that is something that people must understand. Like, that is not, that definitely seals it adds and it seals the deal on a lot of shit. But that's not always why they're all together.
Right.
It's not always a sexual situation. Like, again, it's he can have multiple baby mothers and they all choose to live together.
Right.
Type of situation.
Gotcha.
Instead of beefing, people pulling together.
Right.
So it's like building your own little village.
Right.
Basically, but that's, how people want to go about it. Me, I'm all about building, but I'm not getting in a relationship just for that. That's just me.
And I feel you.
Right. But it can't be just based off of financial things anyway. A lot of people,
No.
a lot of people think that it's just because people want to just freak off. It's not about, like you said, it's not all about sex. It has a lot of different parts in it. The same way you have in a monogamous relationship, where if somebody is lacking in certain areas or things like that, like everybody same thing in a poly relationship you might experience in a monogamous relationship. Like I said, only thing different to me, only thing that's different to me is that it's more people and it takes more patience and more honesty and trust. That's the main thing in it. If you have that in that factor of, I mentioned on the first episode, you have to have that self confidence in yourself, because if you don't have all that confidence building, you might end up being envious over a sister wife or something like that, because you don't have that that self confidence. So you have to have that self confidence to be in this type of relationship, because I mean everybody has jealousy a little bit. It's a feeling, it's an emotion, but you have to know how to bottle that too, and know the main, know that there's no separation in it. And the same thing I tell men all the time. Like, if you're gonna have multiple women, you have to realize that you have to take care of all these women. And all of them have to be on the same, not quarterly like the same level, but you have to treat all of them the same way. There's no favoritism in that type of relationship.
Fair. There needs to be an equal fair playing field, whatever, across the board with each of these women. So no, you're not necessarily doing the same things for each woman, but there has to be some form of fairness. One female can't feel like you're giving her more time than you're giving the rest of them. You understand what I'm saying? It has to make sense for your situation, and also understand polygamy is when a man has multiple women. There's no homosexual lesbianism going on in that dynamic. And that I'm glad that you brought up the fact you mentioned in the first video. There's people need to understand that there is a difference between polygamy and polyamory. Polygamy, that is religiously based. That is one man, several wives, no lesbianism going on. Polyamory, that is a person, man, female, gay, straight, whatever you want to call it, is with multiple people. So if a man wants to date a female who is polyamorous, he needs to be aware that she may also want to date multiple people as well. She may want to date a man. He needs to also be secure with that himself. That's what she wants to do. Otherwise, he needs to stick his ass to polygamy if he can't deal with it. So, polyamory is more free spirit. It's for everybody to be comfortable and, work with each other. And there's no suppressing anything in this situation, I feel.
Right.
Okay. Well, we actually have a question here. So, and I believe this was a question that we kind of touched on a little bit on the first episode. But it says, so how does it work if he or she wants to marry one of them?
Get married. If y'all all Um, if everybody could sit down and, talk about this and have an understanding of how things want to go, like these are conversations that you need to have from the jump, from the beginning. And with each individual that you bring into the door, they need to know the conversation that y'all had and what y'all agreed to, and what can we do to make this a full circle for everybody to, you know, build here. So you want to get married to this one, cool beans. Some people are already married.
Right.
Right.
But you want to get married to the next one, that could be a little tricky. There's always loopholes. America has loopholes and everything.
Mhm.
So you could get married to one in one state, get married to the other in another state, or you can get married to one person in one country and in another country. America can't do nothing about that. Or you can write up your own marriage certificate. That takes time and money.
Right.
That's something that a lot of people do not know. Whether you are monogamous, poly, whatever, you can write up your own marriage certificate, and you are actually you are seen legally by state, but you do not have to go according to the state rules. So you can, whatever the law is for school, you don't necessarily abide by that.
Right.
Okay.
So
That's interesting to know.
Mhm.
yeah, it's difficult, it's hard. So, but yeah.
I I'm just in awe about how people in polyamorous relationships are able to keep that happy median.
It's
And
it's in you. It gotta be in you, I guess. I'm speaking from a person I'm a natural polygamist. Um, so I can't really understand people who are now coming into it.
gotcha.
Well, for me to speak on that, because I was actually somebody that went from monogamous to, poly, and when I came, like I always wanted to, it always was in me. You feel me? And I realized that if every relationship that I am in, always the only problem in my relationship is that I deal with multiple women. And it's not even like three or four. It's always like one. And it'll end up conflicting. And it'll end up somebody getting hurt or something like that. So as me being younger, you know, it was high profile, like yeah, you're a player and all this type of stuff. But as you get older, like I wasn't into like trying to play games. This is something that I wanted. This is something that I wanted. So by me, like, okay, this is what I want to do. I say, I'm not gonna play the little boy games anymore. I'm gonna be honest, because as a man, you're supposed to stand up anyway and believe in what you believe in and stand your ground in it. So instead of me lying and trying to keep two people apart and trying to play this game here and there, why I can't just bring it all to the table, and if you choose to deal with it, you can, or if you don't, then you don't have to. But this is what I want, and if you want it and it sounds good to you, you feel me? I'll let you know my point of view with it. I won't just be like, yeah, this is what I want. Like I can explain myself and everything, but if this is not what you want, then you don't have to be with it. It's enough people in the world for you to find your match.
Right. And there's a lot of women such as myself who believes in the entire structure of polyamory. I'm all for many. And I'm, again, like I'm a natural. I don't want to say I was born this way, but that's how I feel. Like from the beginning, I always find attraction in both male and female, and I've always fantasized about having them both. So for me, actually, what opened the door for me, because of course I wasn't knowledgeable on polygamy. Like I didn't know of its existence at that time. I didn't even know about homosexuality. Um, but there was a man in my neighborhood who had two girlfriends, and seeing that and seeing how they got along, like there was no issues. You never heard any issues other than basic relationship drama, like you ain't take out the trash, shit like
Right.
that. Things like that was going on, and they had children. And we in the projects. This is New York, Brooklyn, you know, in the projects. And I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, this is not just a dream for me. Like, I could be this. And then I seen the Tyra Banks show. I was 17, 18 around the time. And I was like, oh shit, we do exist. Like, there's a word for this. And
a whole new world has opened up.
Right. It opened a whole new world. And I began my studies from then on. And I just been pursuing this, you know, ever since. But I've had my monogamous situations, and all I know is that I could be it. I could do the monogamy thing. But just as a bisexual person, I'm always going to crave that sex. So if I'm with a woman, I'm going to always crave a man. So I just rather, like, instead of all that extra shit, just come here. Let's just all be together and be great. Shit like that. So that's what it is for me. Yeah.
That sounds so relaxing and dope. Like, really.
It is. That's why I say, like, you have to know yourself and know what you are capable of. Polygamy isn't for everybody, and polyamory isn't for monogamy isn't for everybody. You have to be aware and understanding and just mature in how to deal. Like, most people who are practicing monogamy are really polygamy, and they just don't know how to go about it. Wondering why their relationships are constantly failing. Right, wonder why their relationships is failing because they not aware of what it is and what they can do. And then, you know, society worried about opinions. You know, like, women don't want to be seen as weak, and, you know, as we're always being told we're doing this for the man. I don't give a damn, like, about him. I'm doing this for me. So
thank you.
It ain't fun. Okay. So it's usually I'm the women, believe it or not, it's the women who are pursuing. It's the women who are doing the praying and shit like that. And it's usually us who gotta school these men on what it is and shit. Like, at least that's been my experience in my surroundings. So.
Right.
You look so enlightened over here, Black.
But that's in a lot of relationships. Like, even in a regular relationship, most time a woman will school a man in a lot of different categories if he allow, you know, if he not that stubborn. But yeah, right. You know, so it just feel good to have you on and speaking from a woman's point of view, because everybody always say that, like, yeah, you only doing it for this nigga, you stupid, or you only doing it for him.
That's why I wanted to speak up. Like, that's why I was so glad that you posted the video in the group, because I'm like, okay, and just seeing some of the things you were saying, I was like, man, he is fucking it up for us. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you, like my brother, but listen, you were saying some things that was just like, it was like, her reaction was exactly what I expected. And it was basically a turn off. And I had my husband watch, and he was just like, yeah, he didn't sell that right. Like, not that we selling anything, but it's just like, he didn't make that sound you made it sound like a business and a competition. And
I didn't want to make it seem like that. I didn't. That's what I wanted to avoid. I spoke on mostly how people feel like it is. Like, they feel like it's a business. I didn't want to make it seem like I was selling that, because, like, I'm new into it too. I'm not, you know, like I said, it's a lot of people that know more than me, and that's the reason why I shared it in the group, because I came to the group seeking to know and get more knowledge. The same way, even if you look on the healthcare page, it tells you to go in groups. It's groups there on the internet. It says that at the bottom of the page that you can seek and get more knowledge. And it's better to see somebody actually doing it than to just assume, you know. So what I talk, I know a little bit, but I don't know fully, you know. So yeah.
And I'm glad that you said that in the beginning. I definitely peeped that you said that. Like, I'm new to this, so if anybody's paying attention, I hope they keep that in mind. Like, you know, so, but there is a business aspect in it. I'm not going to say and act like there's no business in it or whatever. Like obviously we coming together, you having kids and shit, you whatever career you got going on, like we need to be able to work together. So it's resourceful. That's one of the things I love about polygamy and polyamory is that it's very resourceful. So even though like for me, I'm open to all dynamics. So I can be multiple men, multiple women. I'm open to a polycule. So your face.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I was polycule. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Look, I was about to go back to my definitions now. I got to be detailed about certain things because it's hard to understand some of this stuff. It's just clouding my mind, Suge.
I'm sorry.
Woo. So, you guys have, Bree, you have given so much knowledge in just this short amount of time. Like, for me being a person who doesn't really know much about the poly lifestyle, you give it more clarity. It's simple to understand how you put it, as opposed to me just reading the definitions that are ultimately going to screw my head up, and I'm going to be like, yeah, no, I couldn't do that. That what? No. It sounds more human when you say it.
Right.
Like it's not something from out of this world. It's, I have to give big ups to you for real, because you make it sound.
I was hoping I didn't like. Thank you. I was hoping I didn't fuck this up.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I thank you so much for coming and giving your time.
Thank you for having me.
So for any of you out there watching, if you have any questions or anything that you like to drop, go ahead and drop that so we can see what Miss Bree and Yada got to say, because Mel is over here in the monogamy pool. Okay. Y'all laughing at me?
Yeah. It's cool.
My reactions, I guess, are expected to a certain degree, right?
Yeah.
It is. I'm used to it. So
I say to each his own. I'm not judgmental at all. And I can't say that I wouldn't be open to trying a poly relationship, but I would need to know more information. I don't want to just hop into something and say that I'm doing it. And I don't really have the full scope of what it's about and what it's really supposed to be. So
I say this to a lot. It's complementary and supplementary to monogamy. If you understand what that is, then that should be easy breezy to you. And you're right. Know everything before you jump into a situation, like you said. Know where you want to be. Know what you can and cannot deal with. Understand that your partner is going to want multiples as well. Chances are that person's going to want multiples as well, and you need to be able to deal with that. If you can't, you are free to walk away.
We got some people out here. Oh, Bree, you are so knowledgeable.
Oh, thank you. I can't see the comment, so
I just wanted to put that out there real quick. But I just want to take this time. We're going to kind of wrap it up here, because there is going to be a part 3 to this. We're not done yet by any means. Bree, I would love for you to come back on next week if you have the time in your schedule, and we can get more in depth about the different types.
Yeah, because people need to know that.
Yes, you definitely need, and it's a lot. When I looked it up, I was like, this is a lot. There is no way in the world that I'm going to be able to cover all of this in one episode. Never.
Right.
Well, I don't, anybody who is getting into it, don't, yes, study, research what you're getting into, but don't make that the biggest thing because it's going to confuse you and it's going to cause you to want to go back to monogamy, which is very simple. It's basic, black and white. So I just say, focus on what it is that you want. What is your desire? And just communicate that to people. Like, this is what I want. And then worry about labels, meanings, and shit like that. Just focus on what you want. That's, you know, what I can recommend to anybody who's thinking about this lifestyle. Just if you like, you want to fuck men in the ass, excuse my language, if you want to peg men and your partner is somebody who's not into that, then you need to be aware and understand, like, is this something very important that you can't suppress, or do you need you another partner who's into that kind of thing, and can y'all all be okay with this? So just an example. Shit like that.
All right now.
That was somewhere else.
I'm just going to take a quick moment here to say thank you again, Bree, for coming on to the show. Look forward to having you next week. You have really dropped a lot of knowledge tonight, and I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And yeah, any words you would like to just put out there for us?
I mean, a lot of things Bree wrapped up, and I just appreciate her for even coming on, and actually watching and viewing and things in that nature, because I just put it out there. I didn't know, that the feedback was like that. So shout out to the community, you feel me? Because they definitely are listening, So, I just appreciate everybody. But a lot of, like, in the comments, a lot of people say it's interesting and a lot of people want knowledge on it. So, we just stepping out there to make more awareness for it,
All right. Well, Miss Bree, would you like to say anything additional, even though you have dropped so much knowledge this evening?
Nope. I'll wait for next week to say whatever else, and unless anybody got any questions they need answered.
Social media. Have her plug her social media.
Okay. Can you give us your information and how we can get in touch with you, like your social media?
You can find me on the group. The group is called I keep saying that. The Poly Mansion. Or just find me on Facebook, Instagram, One Band Girl, my Instagram, or Brains of Reality Clothing. That's my Instagram, which is also my clothing brand. But I put it in the comment section so everybody could all the information I put into the comment.
All right, cool. And we're going to drop yours too, Yada?
Yeah.
For sure?
Yada everything. Yada Black on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And, of course, hashtag Yada Golden Line. And, catch me on SoundCloud, all that good joint. YouTube, support me. Yada Black.
All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Just wait till next week. Same time, 8 o'clock. We are going to go live again and we're going to finish this conversation. Bree, thank you again, darling. Yada next week. And we out, y'all.
Later.